President Trump continued to push the stolen election narrative, even though he and his allies knew that their litigation efforts, making the same claim, had failed. Now, it's worth pointing out that litigation generally does not continue past the safe harbor date of December 14th. But the fact that this litigation went on, well, that decision makes more sense when you consider the Trump campaign's fundraising tactics. Because if the litigation had stopped on December 14th, there would have been no fight to defend the election and no clear path to continue to raise millions of dollars. Mr. Chairman, at this time, I'd ask for unanimous consent to include in the record a video presentation describing how President Trump used the lies he told to raise millions of dollars from the American people. These fundraising schemes were also part of the effort to disseminate the false claims of election fraud.
My name is Amanda Wick, and I'm Senior Investigative Counsel with the House Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. Between Election Day and January 6th, the Trump campaign sent millions of fundraising emails to Trump supporters, sometimes as many as 25 a day. The emails claimed the, quote, left-wing mob was undermining the election, implored supporters to, quote, step up to protect the integrity of the election, and encouraged them to, quote, fight back. But as the Select Committee has demonstrated, the Trump campaign knew these claims of voter fraud were false, yet they continued to barrage small-dollar donors with emails, encouraging them to donate to something called the Official Election Defense Fund. The Select Committee discovered no such fund existed.
I don't believe there is actually a fund called the Election Defense Fund.
Is it fair to say that the Election Defense Fund was another, I think we called it a marketing tactic?
Yes.
And tell us about these funds as marketing tactics.
Just the topic matter where how money could potentially be used.
The claims that the election was stolen were so successful, President Trump and his allies raised $250 million, nearly $100 million in the first week after the election. On November 9th, 2020, President Trump created a separate entity called the Save America PAC. Most of the money raised went to this newly created PAC, not to election-related litigation. The Select Committee discovered that the Save America PAC made millions of dollars of contributions to pro-Trump organizations, including $1 million to Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows' charitable foundation, $1 million to the America First Policy Institute, a conservative organization which employs several former Trump administration officials, $204,857 to the Trump Hotel Collection, and over $5 million to Event Strategies, Inc., the company that ran President Trump's January 6th rally on the Ellipse.
All of us here today do not want to see our election victory stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats, which is what they're doing.
The evidence developed by the Select Committee highlights how the Trump campaign aggressively pushed false election claims to fundraise, telling supporters it would be used to fight voter fraud that did not exist. The emails continued through January 6th, even as President Trump spoke on the Ellipse. 30 minutes after the last fundraising email was sent, the Capitol was breached.
Every American is entitled and encouraged to participate in our electoral process. Political fundraising is part of that. Small dollar donors use scarce disposable income to support candidates and causes of their choosing, to make their voices heard. And those donors deserve the truth about what those funds will be used for. Throughout the committee's investigation, we found evidence that the Trump campaign and its surrogates misled donors as to where their funds would go and what they would be used for. So not only was there the big lie, there was the big ripoff. Donors deserve to know where their funds are really going. They deserve better than what President Trump and his team.
So as usual, Donald Trump is scamming his supporters. I'm pretty sure, just taking advantage of the fact that a lot of people don't read. They react on emotion. So right now, they believing the narrative that the Democrats are trying to steal the election. Democracy's under attack and blah, 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 blah. We got to fight back, right? So that's the thing. So you send an email that says Election Defense Task Force, putting together Election Defense Task Force made up of strongest defenders. He's calling on you to step up and join. Now, keep in mind, he's been talking about major election fraud, but yet he keeps going to court with nonsense. If he has some evidence of some major fraud, he would have brought it to court by now, right? Why is he talking about, where they have us standing too far away? That's your evidence of major vote fraud? 60%, more than half of the money donated, goes to the Donald J. Trump for deposit in DJTP 2020 general election account. So that is to go into his general election account for the retirement of general election debt up to a maximum of 2,800 scam. So this is a video that I premiered November 7th of 2020. November 7th of 2020 is when I premiered this video. So it was pretty obvious from the very beginning that this was all a scam. And to any of my subscribers that have been around since 2020, most of the things you're hearing in the January 6 hearings are nothing new, right? Because I've covered an overwhelming majority of this stuff. All they're doing is filling in the gaps, because a lot of the information that I put out was based on extrapolating based on the data that we do know publicly. So I can only look at what's being put out there publicly. I can listen to what Trump is saying and what his allies are saying, what his attorneys are saying. I was following all the court cases, so I was using public information and extrapolating from that most likely what's happening. Now, through the hearing that they actually are bringing this evidence, we're hearing Trump's associates, allies, his administration, his campaign people, his attorneys, even his own daughter. We're hearing directly from the source that exactly what my assessment is accurate. That was 2 years ago. We already discussed this right here on the Debate Me channel. But it is still nice and valuable to actually fill in those gaps and confirm what we already established just based on the publicly available information. Donald Trump is and has always been a scam artist. That's what he does. If he wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth, I'm pretty sure he would be a used car salesman today, trying to sell you a car, telling you about how you're never going to get a better deal than this and how it matches your eyes and this is the last one. We're never going to get another car at this kind of price and discount. And then you buy it and it's a lemon. That's Donald Trump. A reality TV star and a used car salesman. This is the Debate Me channel. Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well.